Welcome to the Tuva Project. I'm Aaron. This week, I want to talk to you about our AI dev workflow that we've been using at Tuva the last 4 to 6 weeks. This has completely changed how we've done analytics and data engineering. And I'm not even kidding. We're developing 10 to 100 times faster than we were 4 to 6 weeks ago. This is something that's obviously been all over the news. Like you hear, like, software engineers all the time talking about how their productivity is crazy. The foundation model companies, and folks that work in Anthropic, people are saying Claude is just like writing itself. When I talk to data people, data engineers, analytics engineers, especially in healthcare, I don't see people using these workflows as much. So I think, and I think there's a reason for that. I think it's because the data warehouse in the middle makes it difficult to create a closed loop. When we finally created a closed loop a couple of weeks ago, things just totally started accelerating for us. So I just wanted to make a short video to share exactly what are we doing and how's it working. Just a little history lesson to kind of start with. Like, everybody knows this. It's like, how have we been working for the last 25 years plus when we're doing data and analytics engineering? For the majority of that time, when there's an issue, we go to Stack Overflow and look up the problem. Like, hey, I've got this weird error. I've never seen this before. And that takes hours to get through, right? And, eventually, like, Stack Overflow was great. Eventually you get through it, hopefully in a lot of cases, but it was just really slow. This improved a lot after ChatGPT, right? So basically everybody stopped going to Stack Overflow, and everybody was just like, I'd be building my DBT project, I'd be running my DBT project, and I'd get some error. And I'm like, this is weird. And I would just feed that into ChatGPT and try and get ChatGPT to tell me what to do, right? And that worked really well. But there's a big difference between that and what we're seeing now, and what software engineers have really started to do faster than data and analytics engineers, is in the last month or two, it's what's really working is creating a closed loop. So rather than having it work like, I'm executing code, I run into an error, I copy and paste that error into ChatGPT, ChatGPT tells me what to do, I copy that, run it again. That's not a closed loop. The agent, the AI, isn't taking actions on its own. So I'm the bottleneck. So really the unlock for us came when we engineered a system where the AI could be making changes to DBT and executing that code against the data warehouse. I think the reason most people aren't doing this is because they're afraid, rightfully so, probably, to give AI unfettered access to their data warehouse. Like, I'm not going to give, Codex access to Snowflake and run up a $300,000 Snowflake bill. That's not going to happen. So what we did was we basically figured out there were kind of three key ingredients that would allow us to create a closed loop for analytics engineering in using agents. And so here we're just talking about, like, I'm going to create a DBT project, and I want to iterate to develop the code in that DBT project, and maybe I want to build some dashboards. The first thing is you've got to have the dev data, whatever you're developing on, in the DBT project, because you may need to iterate on that data, right? You may need to, add an additional column or something like that. So that's critical. So that's kind of ingredient number one. The second is you've got to give it access to some database. DuckDB is awesome for this. You can pip install DuckDB. It's super fast. It's super lightweight. You can run it locally. You can run it locally with up to like a couple hundred gig of data in the database. It's not a problem. And so that's what we've been using. And then once you do that, you can just have Codex be iterating against the DuckDB, running DBT build, and it'll build stuff against DuckDB. Now, obviously, your production data warehouse is probably not DuckDB, right? It's probably Snowflake or Databricks or something like that. And so in that case, what you need to do is you need to make sure you have some sort of testing set up on pull requests so that when you push your changes to whatever GitHub or whatever your version control system is, that you can have some testing run that'll automatically test it against your the database that you're gonna ultimately use in production. That'll really streamline PRs and merges. You can see how we've done that on the tuvaproject.com against the Tuva repo. We have CI testing set up against 6 different data warehouses. You could literally copy our code. I'll show you how to do that. And then the final thing, though, from an analytics engineering standpoint, is choose a dashboarding tool that is driven by code, right? Where that's a programming language like Python, right? So we chose Dash. And so basically how this all works, and I'll show you a little bit, is this right here is the Tuva demo project that I've cloned. And you can see I've got seed files here. Previously, we had all these seed files stored on S3 because it was faster to load from S3 as opposed to loading the CSVs from the project itself. But Codex couldn't iterate on anything in S3. Now that these files are in the project, I can say, hey, all this data is old from 2018. It's just synthetic data and I want it to be more realistic. Let's update it all to be from years 23, 24, and 25, right? And Codex can just get in there and do that. Or if I need to add columns or something. So that's the important thing there. And then we run, so then the demo project is just running, here's Tuva, which I've pulled. The demo project is just importing the local Tuva project. And when I tell Codex, hey, here's what I need you to do, I'm trying to build this additional data mart or I'm trying to clean this up, it just knows to go in and do things there. The other thing we did is we added an agent MD file. I think now the term that everybody's using is agents plural, but we added this a while ago. This is just this is the context. So every time we go and every time I go and I have Codex do anything, I say, hey, check out the agent MD file. Make sure you have all the context around the project. And so this is just basic stuff around hey, we need to make sure the SQL works across these different flavors of data warehouses. And anytime I see Codex screw something up multiple times, I just add it to this file. And then finally, from a dashboard development standpoint, this is honestly just new in the last couple days. I started iterating with Dash, building Dash as a Python library for developing dashboards, and I started iterating with it with Codex to build dashboards on top of Tuva. And so you can see this is me telling Codex hey, here's what I'd like to do, it's just pretty quickly. I've got a framework of dashboards. But again, it's very easy for me to say, hey, I don't, I can say I can say I don't like the styling of this, or I want to add these metrics. And because Codex has the overall context of the project, the data marts, it can run things in duckdb. It basically has a closed loop to do all of the analytics engineering. And so I would encourage, it does take a little bit of work to kind of set up these, the workflows around this to get Codex to have all the pieces of information that it needs that can work well. But once you get it going, you can really develop quickly. So we just thought it would be a good idea to share that because, again, you talk to so many software engineers that are already doing this, and but you just don't talk to as many data or analytics engineers just because that are doing this because we have other bottlenecks with the data warehouse and so forth. So obviously we're really excited about this. So if you want to pick my brain further on how we're doing things, or if you have a workflow that you really like that you think other people could benefit, definitely ping me on Slack. I'd love to chat about that.